into the Hillary Clinton email scandal. This comes just 11 days before Election Day. Those new emails, thousands of them, we're told, appear to result from the sexting investigation of disgraced former Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner, married to senior Clinton aide Huma Abedin. As you can imagine, this news has turned the entire political universe on its head. It has given Donald Trump new life for his campaign, and it has given Hillary Clinton and her campaign new reason to worry, as she seemed to be coasting to Election Day with red state visits and a down-ballot push. My interview from this morning with Donald Trump and Mike Pence is coming up shortly. But we begin with the stunning news of the FBI announcement and reaction to it. We have Fox team coverage tonight. Carl Kammen's traveling with the Trump team in Iowa. Jennifer Griffin is also in Iowa with the Hillary Clinton campaign. But we begin with Chief National Correspondent Ed Henry. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Brett. An FBI source tells me tonight the focus is on thousands of emails that were sent and received by Huma Abedin, Clinton's top aide. This source could not say whether those emails were sent back and forth with Hillary Clinton or not, or whether they were classified. A key question. A senior law enforcement official adds the FBI was in what they believe to be an impossible position. They found a trove of emails connected to the Clinton probe that never closed down. If they waited until after the election, Republicans would accuse them of holding back critical info. By moving forward, Democrats are furious. It may tilt a close race.
A blockbuster double-barreled October surprise from FBI Director James Comey. He is investigating Hillary Clinton and her server again after new emails emerged, according to an FBI source, from the separate sexting investigation of former Congressman Anthony Weiner, husband of Huma Abedin, Clinton's top aide, who was interviewed by the FBI during phase 1 of their investigation. Comey firing off a new letter to stunned members of Congress. Quote, I am writing to inform you that the investigative team briefed me on this yesterday, and I agreed that the FBI should take appropriate investigative steps designed to allow investigators to review these emails to determine whether they contain classified information, as well as to assess their importance to our investigation. Comey was under intense pressure after declining in July to press charges against Clinton, despite kicking off an extraordinary news conference by suggesting she did, in fact, mishandle classified information.
Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
Beyond being a criminal problem for Clinton, she has been suffering political damage ever since a March 2015 news conference, where she made a series of promises to the American people that turned out to be false.
There is no classified materials.
Comey's probe, though, has been clouded by former President Bill Clinton meeting privately with Attorney General Loretta Lynch on an airplane, and President Obama suggesting in multiple interviews that Clinton did not violate any laws.
Can you still say that?
I continue to believe that she has not jeopardized America's national security.
Today, the president had no comment.
Mr. President, any reaction to the FBI reopening the investigation into Clinton's email server? Is she fit to serve?
As for demands by the Clinton camp that the FBI release more information tonight, a senior law enforcement source is telling us they have no plans to do so, and they doubt it will be wrapped up by the election. A former FBI official told me, meanwhile, if Clinton is worried about timing, she should not have kept the existence of her server secret for so long. Brett.
Again, just to be clear, we don't know whether Hillary Clinton is emailed here by Huma Abedin.
Correct.
And we don't know the existence of the 33,000 other emails, the Hillary Clinton emails.
Yeah, there was a New York Post story recently, as the WikiLeaks dumps have been happening, suggesting that the IT company in Colorado may not have deleted all 33,000 that Hillary Clinton thought were deleted with BleachBit. And so some of those emails could be emerging, some could be included in what they found in Huma Abedin's device. We simply don't know. What we do know is that Huma Abedin is always by Hillary Clinton's side, and when they're not together, they are emailing frequently. So if they're looking at thousands of emails to and from Huma Abedin, you would expect at least Hillary Clinton or other senior people in the Clinton camp would be emailing with her, Brett.
Okay, Ed, thank you. Fox News correspondent Jennifer Griffin is with the Clinton team in Des Moines tonight. Good evening, Jennifer.
Good evening, Brett. Well, Hillary Clinton is speaking over my shoulder here behind me. This is her second stop in Iowa. So far, she has not made any reference or spoken about the FBI director's pronouncement today.
Donald Trump says he can still win, and you know, he's right. Anything can happen in an election.
The news that the FBI director was taking another look at the case into Hillary Clinton's handling of classified information broke as Clinton flew to Iowa. She ignored questions from the traveling press and instead simply smiled and waved. Clinton did not address what observers are describing as the October surprise few anticipated.
He refused to say he would respect the results of this election. I know. It's never been done before.
Will Clinton? Her running mate appeared flustered and caught off guard at a campaign stop with Congressman Gabby Giffords and her husband in Tallahassee, Florida, after the news broke.
Just got to read a little more.
It was clear Kaine had not yet spoken to Clinton. Clinton's campaign chair, John Podesta, responded to the news on her behalf, turning the focus on FBI Director James Comey, saying he, quote, owes it to the American people to immediately provide the full details of what he is now examining. And campaign spokesman Brian Fallon predicted Clinton will be cleared.
We are fully confident that at the end of this review, however long it takes, that there will be no conclusion drawn that would at all have changed the outcome of the investigation.
Recent WikiLeaks emails from 2015 show frustration among her top campaign staff about Clinton's private email server. Quote, do we actually know who told Hillary she could use a private email? And has that person been drawn and quartered? Like whole thing is bleeping insane. President Obama, in a radio interview before the news broke, had this prescient warning today.
My advice to Hillary will be just listen to your conscience and do what you think is right, and worry about the politics later.
A well-placed source tells me the FBI's decision to take another look at Hillary Clinton's email arrangements was the result of 4 electronic devices seized as part of the Anthony Weiner investigation into his sexting with an underage girl. One of those electronic devices, I'm told, belonged to Huma Abedin. Brett?
Jennifer Griffin with the Clinton campaign. Jennifer, thank you. Now to Donald Trump and Mike Pence. I spoke with the billionaire presidential nominee and his running mate this morning at Trump Tower in Manhattan. It was 2 hours before the FBI's announcement about the Clinton email case, a case that has been a major talking point for both men during this campaign. This is a segment from that interview where Trump was talking about the system being rigged. Again, this was 2 hours before the FBI news.
The system is rigged when Hillary Clinton is allowed to run for president, because what she did is criminal. What she did is General Cartwright is potentially going to serve 5 years in jail for doing nothing by comparison to what she did. The system is rigged when she's allowed to run, because she has done many criminal acts. She's not allowed to run. She is not allowed to be running in this election. And the FBI rolled over, and the Department of Justice rolled over. They didn't roll over for General Cartwright. They didn't roll over for General Petraeus and the many other people that are now in prison and whose lives have been. But when she's allowed to run for office, the FBI rolled over.
But you could lose this election and it not be rigged.
I'm having a hard time myself getting by the fact that the FBI took $675,000. The man that is in charge of her case took $675,000, let her off scot-free.
You know what they say, that that had already happened, that they tried to separate the two. I'm just telling you, that's what he says.
Give me
Governor Pence, you've taken a different tone on this. You told Chuck Todd that we'll absolutely accept the results of the election. 4 days later, you said if the vote is fair, I'm convinced we'll accept it. Are you worried that somehow this election could be invalid?
Well, first, let me say, I think we're going to win this election. I really do. I felt that from early on.
In which case, we will accept the result.
Let's just talk about the integrity of the system.
Brett, when Donald Trump talks about a rigged system, it's a national media, with present company accepted, a national media that has been overwhelmingly hostile to my running mate and has been practicing willful ignorance on most issues emanating out of the years of scandal around Hillary Clinton.
For me, I have to see what happens on that evening. But I can tell you, we're off to a bad start, because Hillary Clinton is a criminal.
Okay, we got that part of the case, but what I'm saying,
and the FBI let her off.
The other day, the governor got a question at an event.
If Hillary Clinton gets in, I'm ready for a revolution because we can't have her in.
Yeah, you don't.
And you said, hold on now, and you calmed her down. So for your supporters who are saying they're going to grab the musket or the pitchfork, you have a message for them.
I can only say this. Very bad things are happening out there. When I see in WikiLeaks that they have total control of the New York Times.
He's calming them down, and you're not calming.
I want him to do whatever he wants to do.
No, he's not.
As far as I'm concerned, he's a free agent as far as this topic. This is a very important topic. But I've seen now in WikiLeaks where the New York Times is controlled by Clinton, by the campaign. But I see what's going on. I've learned so much from WikiLeaks. Unfortunately, you cover it, but the mainstream does not cover it.
Okay, just to the question.
It's awfully hard to take accusations from the other side about our supporters when we found out through that recent video that Hillary Clinton and the Democratic National Party were actually paying people to go to Donald Trump rallies to incite violence. I have every confidence that over the next several days, you're going to see people across this country who support this team go out there, talk to their neighbors and friends, and we're going to bring home a great victory for the American people.
We will have much more of that interview. I have a one-on-one with Donald Trump a little later in this program about a number of topics, and more from both men about a host of issues in a special Saturday night edition on Special Report, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Because of breaking news, our special on the U.S. military, How We Fight, will be postponed to a later date. Now, as we mentioned earlier, that the FBI made this announcement that they are looking into additional emails, thousands of them, coming from the investigation into former Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner. Now, back last year in August, Donald Trump, when Huma Abedin and Anthony Weiner were having problems in the press and talking about them, he had this statement to say. Huma is making a very wise decision, breaking it off with Anthony Weiner. I know Anthony Weiner well, and she will be far better off without him. I only worry for the country in that Hillary Clinton was careless and negligent in allowing Weiner to have such close proximity to highly classified information. Who knows what he learned and who he told? It's just another example of Hillary Clinton's bad judgment. It is possible that our country and its security have been greatly compromised by this. This is August 29th of last year. He also tweeted a number of times that the, quote, perv sleazebag Anthony Weiner was a major security risk as a collector of information.